Nearly 45% of dementia cases may never need to happen. That is not wishful thinking. It is the conclusion of the 2024 Lancet Commission after reviewing 14 risk factors that quietly build across a lifetime. Hypertension, untreated hearing loss, social isolation. These are risks most people never connect to cognitive decline. And here is what makes this urgent. By the time memory problems become obvious, these factors may have been doing damage for decades. So, as a doctor, I want to start with something most families get wrong: understanding what dementia actually is and what it is not. Dementia is not a single disease, and it is not simply about getting older or being forgetful. As a doctor, I use the word dementia to describe a syndrome, a group of symptoms that goes beyond misplaced keys or occasional trouble recalling a name. The key difference is function. Dementia means there is enough decline in memory, thinking, or reasoning that it disrupts a person's ability to manage daily life on their own. This could show up as getting lost on familiar streets, struggling to pay bills, or forgetting how to prepare a meal. It's not about a bad day or normal aging. Everyone has moments of forgetfulness, but dementia is when those changes start to threaten independence. Doctors diagnose dementia when someone has problems in at least two areas of thinking, like memory and language, or judgment and attention. And these problems make it hard to carry out everyday activities. There are many reasons why this can happen, and not all are permanent. But what matters most is the impact on daily living. Dementia is about losing the ability to do things that once came naturally, and that is what sets it apart from ordinary memory lapses. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, but it is not the only one. In fact, when someone shows signs of memory loss or confusion, it is important to remember that several different problems can look like dementia, and some of them can be treatable or even reversed. About 60 to 80% of dementia cases are caused by Alzheimer's, which is tied to changes in the brain like amyloid plaques and tangles. But other conditions can mimic these symptoms. For example, certain medications, especially those with anticholinergic effects, like some sleep aids or allergy pills, can cloud thinking and memory. Thyroid problems or low vitamin B12 can also cause confusion or forgetfulness, and correcting these can sometimes restore clear thinking within weeks. Depression is another common culprit, especially in older adults. It can slow down memory and attention so much that it gets mistaken for early dementia, but with proper treatment, these thinking problems often improve. Even infections, sleep apnea, or a buildup of fluid in the brain called normal pressure hydrocephalus can cause symptoms that look like dementia but may improve with the right treatment. This is why doctors run blood tests, review medications, and check for other medical issues when someone first develops cognitive changes. Early clarification is not just about naming the problem, it is about making sure a treatable cause is not missed and that families have a clear path forward. Blood vessels are the lifelines of the brain. Every heartbeat pushes oxygen and nutrients through a network that keeps memory, thinking, and mood running smoothly. When these vessels are under strain for years, the damage can sneak up quietly. High blood pressure or hypertension is one of the biggest hidden threats. It stiffens arteries, injures the walls, and reduces blood flow in the brain, sometimes long before symptoms appear. Studies show that about 45% of adults over 60 have hypertension, and people who don't keep it under control in midlife face nearly double the risk of developing dementia later on. Cholesterol is another key player. The 2024 Lancet Commission added high LDL cholesterol to the list of modifiable dementia risks based on new evidence from over 1 million participants. High LDL, often called bad cholesterol, can cause fatty deposits to build up inside blood vessels, narrowing them and making it harder for the brain to get what it needs. Statin medications and a heart-healthy diet have both been linked with lower dementia rates in large observational studies, about a 10 to 15% reduction in risk when cholesterol is kept in check. Diabetes and obesity also add strain. When blood sugar remains high, it damages the delicate vessels that feed the brain. Insulin resistance, common in pre-diabetes, disrupts how the brain uses energy. The ARIC study found that people with midlife obesity had a 20% higher risk of dementia down the road. Even carrying extra weight in middle age can set the stage for later problems. Smoking belongs in this same risk family. Each cigarette speeds up vessel damage, raising the odds of both stroke and cognitive decline. The path from the lungs to the brain is shorter than most people think. What can people do? The most practical step is to know your numbers. Regular blood pressure checks at home or at the pharmacy help catch problems before they become permanent. If your doctor prescribes medication, take it as directed. Track your cholesterol and blood sugar at each visit. These are silent risks, but they're also some of the most preventable. By keeping blood vessels healthy, you give your brain the best chance to age well. The brain depends on steady streams of information, sounds, sight, and movement to stay sharp. When these channels narrow, the brain works harder to keep up, often without us noticing. Hearing loss stands out as one of the most significant risks that can actually be changed. 1 in 4 adults over 65 has some degree of hearing loss, yet many do not realize how much it shapes daily life. Even mild hearing loss forces the brain to fill in missing pieces, leaving less energy for memory and planning. Over time, this extra effort can lead to pulling back from conversations and activities, quietly increasing the risk for cognitive decline. Recent findings place hearing loss at the top of the list for modifiable dementia risks. The 2024 Lancet Commission estimates that addressing hearing loss could prevent or delay about 7% of dementia cases worldwide. Early and consistent use of hearing aids is linked to an 18% reduction in dementia risk. These devices do more than amplify sound. They help the brain stay engaged and connected, easing the mental strain and making it easier to remain part of the world. Programs like HearWell in Ohio showed that even affordable hearing aids, when used regularly, can boost both thinking skills and quality of life. Vision loss is another overlooked contributor. Untreated problems like cataracts or macular degeneration now appear on the list of preventable risks. When sight fades, people may stop reading, driving, or joining group activities, which can speed up cognitive decline. Simple steps, regular eye exams, updated glasses, or timely surgery restore access to the world and help protect the brain. Movement forms the third pillar. Physical activity keeps the brain's networks active and adaptable. Sitting too much limits the flow of information between body and mind. Each extra half hour of activity per week lowers dementia risk by about 6%. Even gentle routines, walking, stretching, and balance exercises feed the brain with vital stimulation. Hearing aids, glasses, and movement are not signs of defeat. They are tools that help the brain keep pace with life, protecting long-term thinking and independence. Loneliness shapes the brain as much as it shapes mood. When social ties fade, the brain receives less stimulation, and the networks that support memory and thinking begin to weaken. The Health and Retirement Study found that people who feel socially isolated face 1.4 times higher risk of developing dementia. These changes often appear quietly. A person might stop reaching out, skip gatherings, or become more withdrawn at home. Family members often notice these subtle shifts before anyone talks about memory loss. Depression can hide behind everyday complaints about forgetfulness. An older adult may mention trouble recalling names or appointments, but beneath the surface, sadness or loss of interest in life may be the real driver. Depression slows thinking and clouds attention, blurring the line between mood and memory. When depression is treated through therapy, medication or more activity, thinking skills often rebound. This is why doctors ask about mood when someone brings up memory changes, and why families should mention any signs of withdrawal or persistent sadness. Sleep stands as a core pillar of brain health, not a side concern. Both too little and too much sleep raise dementia risk. Research shows that sleeping less than 6 hours a night in midlife increases dementia risk by up to 37%. Sleep disorders like insomnia and sleep apnea add friction to memory, attention, and mood. Poor sleep chips away at resilience, making the brain more vulnerable. Simple routines, consistent bedtimes, limiting caffeine, and treating sleep apnea can help protect cognition. Alcohol use compounds these risks. Drinking more than 14 drinks per week raises dementia risk by 20 to 30%. Alcohol disrupts sleep, affects mood, and can erode social connections. Even moderate drinking may harm brain health if it interferes with sleep or daily rhythm. Often, family members see these patterns first: poor sleep, withdrawal, or increased drinking. The focus is not on blame. These changes are responses to stress or loss. Early recognition opens the door to support, connection, and practical help, giving the brain a better chance to thrive. Louise was 68 when her doctor first mentioned the word hypertension. Her blood pressure read 152/88, and she could recite the numbers, but the meaning felt distant. What changed everything was a simple home blood pressure cuff. Each morning, Louise sat at her kitchen table, wrapped the cuff around her arm, and logged the result in a small notebook. It became as routine as brushing her teeth. She joined a local walking group, Silver Sneakers, where the pace was gentle, but the laughter was real. After 6 months, her systolic pressure dropped by nearly 20 points, and her mini-cog score edged up from 24 to 27. Louise noticed she tripped less, felt steadier on her feet, and had more energy for her grandkids. The numbers on her chart told one story, but the bigger change was in how daily life felt: more confident, less anxious, and connected to others. Miguel, a retired factory worker, spent years missing parts of conversations, nodding along even when he could not quite hear. He started skipping Sunday dinners, then calls from his daughter. It was not until a community program fitted him with a hearing aid, an affordable model from the local agency on aging, that things began to shift. Within weeks, Miguel was back at his church's Domino's night. His social circle grew from 2 to 5 close friends, and his depression scores dropped by half. For Miguel, the biggest difference was feeling welcome again. He could joke, share stories, and follow every word. Hearing better did not just sharpen his mind, it brought him back into the fold, week after week. This is one person's experience. Outcomes vary. Dorothy was 71 when her memory started slipping. She struggled to remember appointments and sometimes lost track of conversations. Her daughter noticed she seemed groggy in the mornings and slower to respond. At her annual checkup, Dorothy brought a list of every medication she took: prescriptions, over-the-counter pills, and supplements. The pharmacist flagged her nightly use of diphenhydramine, a common sleep aid with strong anticholinergic effects. These drugs are known to cloud thinking, especially in older adults. After a careful review, her doctor recommended stopping the sleep aid and suggested melatonin instead, a safer option for her age. Dorothy also screened positive for sleep apnea. She began using a CPAP machine, which helped her breathe better at night. Within weeks, she woke feeling more rested. Small steps continued. She joined a diabetes prevention program, swapped sugary snacks for fruit, and added a short walk after breakfast. Over 6 months, her blood sugar dropped from pre-diabetic levels to normal. Her mini-cog score improved from 22 to 27, and she felt more confident handling bills and planning meals. No miracle cure changed Dorothy's life overnight, Instead, it was a steady sequence of small, realistic changes. Removing a risky medication, improving sleep, and eating better added up. Each modest gain built on the last. Over time, Dorothy found that her thinking felt steadier and daily life became easier to manage. This is one person's experience. Outcomes vary. Even when families know what helps prevent dementia, real life can get in the way. It is not just about willpower. Many older adults want to join a walking group, get their blood pressure checked, or see a hearing specialist. But the nearest clinic might be miles away, or appointments may be available only in English. Transportation, cost, and language are some of the biggest hurdles. In rural areas, there might be no local doctor at all. In cities, clinics can be crowded or hard to reach by bus. For those who speak a language other than English, even making an appointment can feel impossible. This is where family and community support becomes essential. A ride to a checkup, a reminder to take medicine, or a shared walk after dinner can turn good intentions into habits. In some neighborhoods, mobile health vans bring blood pressure checks and hearing screenings directly to church parking lots or senior centers. Faith-based activity groups and bilingual health workers make it easier for people to show up, ask questions, and feel understood. In Phoenix, bilingual community health workers lead dance classes and diabetes prevention groups, boosting participation by 30%. In Detroit, church-based programs offer exercise and depression screening in a familiar setting with trusted staff who speak the community's language. These local solutions work because they fit the daily reality of the people they serve. When families and communities team up, prevention becomes routine, not a burden. The biggest difference often comes from small, shared actions that make healthy choices possible for everyone. When memory lapses or confusion become more noticeable, it is time for a careful, step-by-step evaluation. Screening for dementia is most helpful when there is a real concern, such as a family member noticing significant changes or someone struggling with daily tasks, not as a routine check for everyone. The first tools most doctors reach for are brief, practical tests like the mini-cog or the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, called the MoCA. The mini-cog takes just a few minutes and combines a short memory task with a simple clock drawing exercise. The MoCA is a bit longer, about 10 minutes, and can pick up early signs that might otherwise be missed. These are not final answers, but they help decide if more investigation is needed. If the results suggest a problem, the next step is to look for causes that can be fixed. A basic set of lab tests, checking vitamin B12, thyroid function, blood sugar, and cholesterol, can reveal treatable conditions. Hearing and vision checks are just as important. Even mild hearing loss or uncorrected vision problems can make thinking seem worse than it is. Sometimes updating glasses or fitting a hearing aid leads to real improvement in memory and attention. If there is clear evidence of decline, or if daily life is affected, a referral to a memory clinic or a neurologist is recommended. Specialists can provide more detailed testing and, when appropriate, order brain scans or advanced lab work. They may also discuss FDA-approved medications for dementia. These drugs, like donepezil, rivastigmine, galantamine, or memantine, can help with symptoms for some people, improving thinking or daily function for a few months. It is important to know that these medicines do not cure dementia or stop it from progressing, but they may make day-to-day life a bit easier for a while. Throughout the process, the goal is to support both the person experiencing changes and those who care for them. Each step, from the first screening to specialist care, is about finding answers and making a plan that fits real life. Early evaluation opens doors to resources, treatment, and support, making it possible to address what can be changed and to prepare for what comes next. Today, science shows that nearly half of dementia cases could be avoided by making informed choices. No miracle cures, just real steps. For millions of families, these decisions are urgent, not optional. Every year, the number of people affected grows. Prevention starts at any age, but action cannot wait. The power to change the future of dementia is in our hands, starting now. Let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments below.